Publisher and politician Dele Momodu has criticized the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for zoning its 2027 presidential ticket to the south, describing the move as a gift to President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid. In a statement on Tuesday, the former PDP chieftain, who is now a member of the coalition ADC, says the PDP had succumbed to cheap and puerile blackmail orchestrated by individuals he claimed were loyal to the ruling All Progressives Congress.
According to him, the PDP finally succumbed to this cheap blackmail. Of course, Chief Dele Momodu wrote, he linked this decision to former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, alleging that the zoning arrangement was part of a broader strategy to secure President Tinubu's 2027 re-election. Who did not know that ultimately the hand was that of Wike, while the voice was that of Tinubu? He says that their game plan is not hidden, that Wike keeps belching others at helpless governors who are too jittery to stand firm against the daredevil dictatorship. Joining us for this discussion is the man himself, politician and founder of Ovation magazine, Chief Dele Momodu. Good morning, Chief Momodu. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting.
All right. You say that is Minister Nyesom Wike's hand and President Tinubu's voice. Can you maybe explain further as to maybe what evidence you have to share this coordination?
It's very easy. I was a member of PDP, and the reason we resigned was not because we didn't love PDP, but because we knew PDP had reached a dead end, especially as far as the presidential election in 2027 is concerned. Anybody who is still fooling around, they say you can be fooled once, but when you are fooled twice, then you are a certified fool. So a lot of people there, like I said, are trying to hide behind one finger. They are jittery. The governors are afraid. They are being coerced. They are being threatened. And so, afraid. And everybody wants to protect his own territory. So what's going to happen to PDP is that, yes, they will use the platform for governorship, for senatorial, for National Assembly and other assemblies, and that's it. But presidency, you watch out, you will see that eventually they will all endorse.
Chief Momodu, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
I said eventually. Yes, I don't know if you heard my.
Yeah, go. We didn't get the end.
We didn't get the end. Yeah. You faded out for a bit. You said eventually.
Okay. The end is that the PDP would only exist as a platform for gubernatorial, National Assembly, State Assembly elections. They cannot compete. They know once you've zoned it to the south, there is no competition, because President Tinubu has already locked down the south by taking out Delta, taking out Akwa Ibom, taking out disorganizing Rivers State. Fubara is neither here nor there. Even if he comes back tomorrow, he would have to toe the lines. They set the traps for them. The other states are also being worked at so that they can grab them. If they have a choice, Tinubu will not have any candidate contesting against him. And once you limit and restrict the presidential election to the south, nobody, and there is nobody, no formidable actor from the north. It's as good as giving it to Asiwaju on a platter.
Okay, I think a follow-up question again, seeing as you were once with the People's Democratic Party, and if you can give us insight into what may be going on there. The seeming dispute or alleged discord that exists between the FCT minister and the governor of Oyo State. And we had a guest on the show, Theophilus Akatugba, who is of the position that it's all an act, and that at the end of the day, because these two men were members of the G5, and all of a sudden from allies to people who don't seem to see eye to eye in the public. So how would you explain what's going on between Minister Nyesom Wike and Governor Seyi Makinde? Do you believe that there's an actual discord between the both of them, or do you think that all this is also an act and, you know, we'll find out at the polls?
Yeah, politicians play games all the time, so I won't be surprised if they are playing games. But let's even take it on the face value that, okay, Katakata has burst between Nyesom Wike and Seyi Makinde. That's okay, but that's not my worry. But the game is that those who are in PDP have this mortal fear of Nyesom Wike. They are so afraid of him. He's locked down the party, locked down the organs of the party. He has his guys there. And so the current national chairman, Damagun, the secretary, my good friend and brother, you know, Sam Anyanwu, and all of them, they are his guys. So there is no way Wike will be alive and PDP will bring in a formidable candidate against Tinubu. It will never happen. So those who are fooling themselves, let them continue to fool themselves. The governors know what they are doing. Those who want a second term, they have to be careful not to be seen, to be opposed to Asiwaju. This is state capture. I don't know why people are so afraid to call a spade a spade. Once upon a time, if I brought out a book, you know, that I've been reading the essays of Professor Wole Soyinka. You can see how voluminous this book. I have a few of that I'm reading. And I'm like, when did Nigeria degenerate to a level where people are afraid to speak truth to power? So just because our friend is the president today means that all of us must become squeamish, timid, you know, and nobody wants to talk. I watched the last guest, with all due respect to him, that you interviewed just now. His analysis for me, Asiwaju is a Democrat. Asiwaju, as far back as October 2022, I was on Kimberley on Channels TV. When I said, if he gets power, this and this and this is what will happen. It's happening. These are guys who don't care. They don't hide what they want to do. They've captured Nigeria. And only God and hopefully ADC will rescue Nigeria. How? I don't know. But we must make an effort. Is it because this is not the democracy we fought for? I don't know why, because you have your friend or because you have your brother or you have someone from your ethnic group. Look, have you seen a political party that is blaming a previous government for its woes, and that previous government was its own party? I remember watching Asiwaju saying that we continue the good work of Buhari. Suddenly Buhari leaves, everybody is attacking and abusing him. You know, that is so unfortunate. So it's clear to me that they are playing games, and everything they are doing is for only one purpose, to make sure that Asiwaju is the sole candidate, if possible. All right. Like some people attempted with Abacha in the past. You see different political parties adopting, the ground is ready.
Anyway, let's also look at one very key implication here. I mean, you've said that it's just all games. So are you saying that the PDP has been compromised? And are you saying that it's now the PDP APC? There's no hope for anybody who's a member of the political party?
What will happen, of course, a lot of people are going to migrate from PDP. Either they will join APC or they will join ADC. That's what will happen, because they are going to see very soon that there will be no candidate. I've told you, mark my word, for as long as Wike is around, Wike will ensure that there is no formidable candidate against Tinubu from PDP. You can see they've decimated all the major political parties, the opposition parties. Labour is in total disarray. I think there must be about 3 versions of Labour. NNPP, same thing. So there is nowhere to turn to. So when people are saying,
but the ADC,
PDP, he wants to bring in Goodluck Jonathan. But PDP wants to bring in Peter Obi. Where?
But the ADC, Chief, but the ADC is also going through its own challenges too. You do have a new person who says he's the current national chairman of the party, and he has debunked the statements made earlier by the supposed current chairman, a former Senate president, saying that he's the chairman of the ADC. He says he's the real chairman. So it seems like your party that you've moved to the ADC is not free after all. It's also going through its own challenges as well, is it?
APC will do everything. I'm saying it. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm bold to say that APC does not want any competition. So they are going to, I know what they are doing to ADC. But if INEC allows it, if the law courts in Nigeria allows it, then we will be back to a dead end, and it will be obvious to everybody that one man wants to be a sole candidate. I'm not bothered. My own is to give you, and this is an academic exercise. I do not have more than one vote. I do not have power to make anybody president or to remove anybody president. But at least I have my brains, and I have the consistency of always speaking truth to power. Whether my friend is there or my enemy is there, it matters not. So I am telling you, it matters not to me. If they like, they can kill all political parties in Nigeria, but it should be on record that one man made that happen. All these, it's voluntary. People are joining voluntarily. In which country? I'm an insider. I've been in this game since 1982. I was 22 years old when I started playing politics. And I've been in opposition all my life. So anybody desperate for power will not be in opposition. If I wanted to be in those who used to attack Tinubu today, they are with him. Not to talk of someone like me, you won't see me attacking. I don't insult him. I only give my views and my permutations. And my permutation right now is that the only zone that will dislodge Tinubu will come from the opposite direction. Just like Isaac Newton said, actions and reactions are always equal and opposite. So, and that's why you will see that they will do everything to continue to attack someone like Atiku, because they know he's the most formidable northerner there. They will continue to harass Tambuwa because they know Tambuwa has the spread. He has been a Speaker of the House of Reps, which means he has friends and foot soldiers in every federal constituency in Nigeria. So they know why they are targeting those people. And anybody who is still hiding behind one finger to say, oh, no, everything is going to be 1 + 1. No, not with this Ashwaju. A man has led Lagos. By 2027, he would have led Lagos for 28 years. And you expect that that man would let you take power away from him free of charge. No, he's going to fight. But then you also need fighters from other opposition parties to at least challenge him. And let us see how it ends. But to say, oh, somebody should not contest. No northerner should contest. Why should they contest? Why should they contest? They are Nigerians. There is nothing in the Constitution of Nigeria that says any Nigerian cannot contest presidential election. It does not matter. Even, let's say, the North has had power for 50 years. Those who want to contest because the Constitution of Nigeria allows it. How can you now subsume the Constitution of Nigeria to the Constitution of political parties?
Well, maybe...
It's not even in our own political parties. It's not even our constitution. It's an RNG. The last one, it was Autumn and Co. who threw open our party, threw open the race. That's why some of us bought the forms.
Many would
now
say
they are
that...
blaming everybody is because the chairman was from the North. Well, if they are giving one of them the VP-ship at that time, do you think they will be lamenting Nigeria today? The answer is no.
Well, many would say that it's a gentleman agreement. Like you said, many would say that it's a gentleman's agreement. That
so,
is...
Okay, and in that gentleman's agreement, we've had Obasanjo, a southerner, for 8 years. We had Yaradua. Unfortunately, he died 3 years, into his government. Then we had Jonathan, who did 5 years and was given another opportunity for another 4 years. It would have been an unprecedented 9 years. Nobody thought at that time that the North should complete what Yaradua started. Nobody. So this hypocrisy, that I'm not part of it. I would love for a Yoruba man, I would love for a Southerner to be president if he is competent. I don't mind. But in a situation where the automatic qualification is where you come from, some of us, we disagree with it. And as I said, I have only one vote. I do not have any power, but I have my mouth to say when everybody kept quiet, I will say my own. They can abuse us, they can do whatever they like, but I will continue. I've always said my own. There has never been a time that I did not talk when I saw that things were going on.
This position that you're holding is the same position that the Northern youths have held. The Northern youths in the PDP, because they've kicked against the zoning agreement, saying that they feel that the North has been sidelined. But I want us to, face another angle. 2 days ago, we had the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce, who is a leading voice in the PDP. And there were a number of things that he said that I would like to bring to you. He talked about the structure of the ADC. He said ADC doesn't have structures around the country. And regardless of how much the ADC has in terms of financial support, that it will take at least 10 years for the ADC to be able to build up enough structure to counter, to be able to be regarded as a formidable opposition at the 2027 elections. How do you respond to that?
Life is not always 1+1. Why would anybody discourage those who aspire? When I contested the election in 2011, I was under no illusion that I would be able to raise the funds. Well, I tried. In 2014, I had friends in the ruling party, PDP at that time, who swore by God and by Jove that nobody can defeat Jonathan. You do not know the extent. The reason they are speaking like this is because they don't know about the suffering of Nigerians. Nobody is even talking about the suffering. It's all about power grab. It's so shameful that nobody cares about the ordinary man. They believe the ordinary man is so powerless, is rudderless, is defenseless, is heartless, is hopeless, and so we will always grab power. Look, unless you are not a student of history, when the time comes and the people rise up, they will chase away their oppressors. And that is what we're trying to prevent. That is what we're trying to prevent. By saying, look, stop taking people for granted. The Yorubas have, they say, the day you can't be slave and you call a slave, that's the day he will kick and tell you that it's not a slave. What they are doing right now is all about magic qualification. And I see elders saying, just let him finish his 8 years. 8 years in the life of a nation is big. It's not a joke. That's why already I'm 65, which means I'm not likely to witness a better Nigeria. When we started, I started from the Alimos Go. I entered the University of Ife in 1978. And we thought, oh, yes, we're going to fight for a better Nigeria. Aluta continua, Victoria Sata. Till at 65 now, there is no Victoria Sata anywhere. So I don't know why people think we have all the time in the world. Just donate to his own. And once you donate power to his own, let them use their own as they like. And then we move on. If you ask me, let everybody come on the table and present their credentials. And whosoever you want to support, I am a Democrat. Even when I was contesting, I never called any staff of Ovation to say, come and join my party or come and vote for me. Democracy is about choice.
All right,
It's
I want to also
choose.
talk about support. Since you're talking about people being free to support whomever they want to support, you are supporting Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and have been for a while, if I'm correct. And now,
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I'm going to again make reference to a conversation that we had with Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce right after the interview, because we asked him about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's chances. And then he made a statement as soon as the interview had ended, and I asked him if it was okay to quote him, and he said, yes, I can. He said that Alhaji Atiku has the influence to win the primaries in the ADC, but not the temperament to win the elections in 2027. How do you respond?
It was the same thing they said about Buhari. I remember we were in a bus one day with some of our young friends, Debola Williams and co. When Rotimi Amechi was going to look for an office for General Buhari in Abuja. We were in a bus, and this argument ensued that, hey, should we not drop the Major General in front of his name because people thought it would remind Nigerians of his dictatorial days? And I raised my hand. I said, no. Why do you want to deprive a man of his biggest achievement in life? Buhari's achievement was being a major general. I said, so why don't we then call him a people's general? And that stuck with everybody, that he was a people's general. So when people say Atiku does not, what is his temperament? He is the most consummate Democrat in Nigeria today. I'm not supporting him. If I needed money, I'll go to Asiwaju. I don't think Atiku has 1% of Asiwaju's asthma. But he has goodwill, tremendous goodwill. I prefer a Democrat who I go to his house. I've never seen a single thug in front of his house. I like a man that I worked for, that Look, he must have maybe some children, maybe about 30 or more, I don't know. And I was able to walk freely. I was able to, look, he never called me once to come and query that what are you doing in the office. Go to his office, year in, year out, well-maintained, well-structured, well-staffed. He's running his businesses. He left power in 2007. He does not control any state in Nigeria. Yet people are jealous of him. Not a single state, not even Adamawa state. He does not have a governor that is controlling, that he can call and say, yeah, go and empty the treasury and bring to me. And yet people are not proud of such a man. He has invested in education, in agriculture, in everything, yet people are opposed to him. Some people are jealous, so they prefer somebody who, I read a book, and that book, I always mention it, Pedagogy of the Oppressed by the Brazilian author Paulo Freire. And it says the oppressed man loves his oppressor. That's what I see in Nigeria. Nigerians love those who can oppress them. They don't mind somebody treating them like slaves. Yeah, then they will say it's a strategy. Look, admiration for Atiku remains intact, and it is because I've seen those democratic credentials in him. Democracy is either we want to have democracy or we don't want it.
Chief Momodu, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll ask a few questions. One of the questions I'd like you to think or ponder on when we come back is that the supposed authentic ADC chairman says he has never met former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and is not sure that he is part of the party. We'd like you to think about that. When we come back, we'll take a look at that. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Breakfast Central, just in case you're tuning in now. Well, you've missed a little bit, but we have more to cover. Joining us and still here with us is Chief Dele Momodu, who's a politician as well, and don't forget a former PDP member who has now moved to the ADC. Our question currently will focus on the ADC. Now, you do have someone who's come out to say he's the authentic chairman. I'm talking about Nafiu Bala. And in his remarks recently, he said he has never met with former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Neither has he met with some members of the ADC who happen to be, of course, colleagues of yours. And I think he has said he's never also met with you before. Now, the ADC is going through its own challenges. And this, in quotes, authentic chairman is saying that there's no room for all members, all comers affair who have come to say they want to use the party to wrestle power away from President Bola Tinubu. My question is, former President Atiku Abubakar has said that he is not desperate for power. He just made that statement recently. And now he also said in addition that he will be running for president. So on which platform is he going to run for president? Is it the ADC, or do you have any idea which political party?
Well, I don't know which of your questions, since it's been a deluge of questions that you are pouring at me. But let me start from the one you were talking about, someone telling you that Atiku or ADC cannot fund presidential election. It is very funny that old people can forget so soon that OBJ came from prison to become president. It's one of the miracles of the 20th century before we enter the 21st century. Umaru Musa Yar'Adua was a lecturer. He had no money. JEJ, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, was a lecturer. Buhari was supposed to be the most popularized candidate ever who had no money. So where does money come into this? If an individual can fund a presidential campaign, then every right-thinking person should ask where that money is coming from. So I wanted to settle that with you, that there is no country where the only prerequisite is for you to be a billionaire. There are once in a while exceptions to the rule. Maybe you had an MK Abiola. Even at that, he received donations. Donald Trump received the donations with all his billions. So elections will be funded once those who are funding, the investors, because it's like an investment, once they are convinced that the candidate A and candidate B have the chances of winning. That's how it is done. Then you are asking on what platform Atiku will run. Let's wait till that time. I'm happy that your last guest told you that there is still some time. So the real game will start maybe towards the end of the year, early next year. So there is nothing to panic about. Atiku has not told me where he wants to run or where, but on the authentic, you are a journalist, sir. What is authentic about anybody coming out to blab on television that is the authentic? Let him go to court and prove it, and also, or go to INEC. When INEC declares that it's the authentic, then it becomes the authentic. And there are always options in life. This game that the ADC operatives are playing is a different game entirely. It's a game that, okay, why are you not asking questions? Where is Peter Obi going to run from? As he told you, is he in control of Labour Party today? Where is Kwankwaso going to run from?
It's a question that we also ask when we have...
It's not a valid question for Atiku alone. Everybody is facing Atiku because they know...
No, we're only asking you about Alhaji Atiku because you are here. When we have people from the Labour Party, we also ask about Peter Obi.
I'm just telling you, no, being here, I'm not here as a spokesman of Atiku. I'm not here, so you can't ask me questions when I'm not a spokesman. That you can direct to police. He works in Atiku's media office. I work in my own office. This is my office in Lagos.
All right.
I have a job.
Let's talk about...
I'm a part-time politician.
Okay.
And I'm a public commentator. So I'm just also helping you so that when you are asking questions about Atiku, ask about the other potential candidates. That where we do, everybody is in total disarray because one man, everybody around him is afraid of facing stiff opposition.
Well, Chief Dele Momodu, we do get your point that you're not a spokesman for Atiku, but of course, in your initial comment, you had highlighted the goodwill of the former vice president, and we also feel that it's right that you may, in one way or the other, understand him well to know where he's going. But that aside, let's also clarify that...
Just the same way,
yes.
I was a part of the Asiwaju thing when we were in Adeko in exile. So, but my opinion, one is I'm a public commentator, and as a journalist, I'm supposed to have access to information.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling you that all the potential candidates today, they're in danger of being blocked out of political parties. And I'm surprised that journalists are not interested in this. We're still deceiving ourselves that, oh, they've zoned to the south. Then that is the news. That is not the news. We must go behind the news. There is news behind the news. And the news behind the news is that APC does not want any competition. Forget about the latest joke that we're going to throw it open to every member of APC. I dare them. I dare any one of them to come out and try it.
Well, we did have a guest who joined us, and I'm sure you also watched where we also asked him if he's going to vie for that seat, and he said no. But throwing it open, whether it's pushing towards a one-party state or whether there seems to be fractions within the other political parties, we do not have control over that as journalists. Our job is simply to look within and see which of the parties, or better still, the personalities who represent each party has to say concerning the situation surrounding the political space. But that said, I'd like us to take a look at the PDP one more time, just before Olive goes with a question. It's a former party where you left your heart. I mean, you had to leave and move to the ADC. And I want to believe that one way or the other, you still look back to see what the PDP is doing, because that's a place that you had stayed for a long time. Can you share with us if, in one way or the other, the PDP will be able to find a candidate, especially looking at the fact that the news here is that they're trying to woo Mr. Peter Gregory Obi back to its fold. And last time I checked, in a video, I did see the current Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate sitting with a few ADC members celebrating that an opposition party has been formed. Can you tell us if, one way or the other, if Mr. Peter Obi would be moving back there and what that would mean for the PDP now that they don't have a candidate?
It is the simplest question to answer, my brother. PDP is not looking for any presidential candidate. I've said it over and over, and I'm repeating it. They are not looking for what they are trying to do. Let me tell you, look at the main players there. Some of them still have presidential ambition. Wike has presidential ambition. Bukola Saraki has presidential ambition. My friend Bala Mohammed has ambition. So what they are doing is to protect that party, to make sure it does not fall apart. I don't know if it will fall apart, you know, to borrow the phrase from Chinua Achebe. They have ambitions. That is why they cannot quit the party. So they are just holding it in abeyance so that when the opportunity presents itself, they will be able to just bring it from wherever it is, whether comatose or not. So frontally, let me answer you, PDP is not looking for a presidential candidate. They know. They will think they can feel the weak link that they know cannot win and all that, but they are all trying to protect their interests. The governors will protect their interests in their states. Those who want to install successors will try to do that. Those who want to win their second term in government will try to do that. So they are not, the presidency is not their priority. That's why they can toy with it. The last time, why did they throw it open? They threw it open so that the best man can win. And it was Wike that was behind it, nobody else. His best friend, Otom, was the one in charge. And they threw it open. There is no serious party that is facing Asiwaju that will remove the North from the equation. Okay. Asiwaju has already made it a North versus South affair. It's going to be a serious battle between the North and the South. So what they are trying to do is to discourage the North completely and lie to the North that why don't you just let Asiwaju finish his second term so that you can have your full terms. There is no law, there is no principle, there is nothing in our constitution that says every president must do 8 years and that every zone must do 8 years. It's a lie from the pit of hell, and they should stop deceiving Nigerians, and Nigerians should stop deceiving themselves, because there is no such law. There was never a time that Buhari did not contest, no matter, regardless who was in power. If it could be stopped, he would not have been contesting till he made it on the 4th attempt. So I don't know why suddenly we've all lost our sense of history. Lying to people that they've zoned to, you know. So we allow Peter Obi to come and take over from Tinubu, and then he will automatically become powerless. Wike is not a stupid man. Give it to him. You can say everything about Wike. Exactly, but Wike is a very smart person, and he has played a smart game for an article. For him to say, no, PDP, I can't use you. He knows. They set all the traps. They set all the booby traps in PDP. They've done it in Labour so that Obi will be decimated. They've done it, there is no party today where somebody is not coming out to say it's the authentic. Authentic where? That he has never met Atiku. If you have never met Atiku in your life, then you are inconsequential. Even me, I met Atiku as far back as 1993 in Jos during the SDP primary.
All right.
I was only 33 years old. So how can you say you've never met Atiku? Even is it compulsory that you must meet everybody if they are not in your party? They were not in your party. Majority of your party, 99% of them were present at the Yaradua Center the day ADC was unveiled.
All right.
Thereafter, some people quickly ran around and started doing government magic, like Fela would say.
Let's talk about the statement.
If you haven't met people, what's the relevance of that?
All right, let's talk about a statement that the ADC has made. They believe that the PDP's recent action, like my colleague had made reference to this earlier, that the PDP's recent action or decision to zone to the south is a ploy to woo influential figures like former President Goodluck Ebele, Jonathan Peter Obi, and Rotimi Amechi back into the fold. Can you maybe expatiate on this further? And, whilst expanding on this, speak to the importance of these figures going back to the PDP and maybe the possibility, do you see it ever happening?
Madam, I beg you in the name of Almighty God, don't be deceived and don't waste your time on a charade. It's a charade. See, look, these guys are playing games. Goodluck Jonathan is not a fool. He knows this game than you and I. He knows that some people just want to use him to cause some distraction. They are hoping that if Jonathan comes into the race, that some people in the north will be divided. What they don't want is a candidate in the north to have the north to himself, especially the northeast and the northwest. And they know that the most disgruntled zones in Nigeria today are in the north, even including the south, because hunger knows no tribe. Okay? So I am telling you, from available information to me, I've not met former President Goodluck Jonathan to discuss one-on-one. We do chat every now and then. I've met Peter Obi. He was in my house a day to my birthday. He visited me here, and we spent time together. And I know he's a very sensible human being. Peter Obi would not have attended the ADC unveiling if he was not looking in that direction. And anybody who feels he can run it low today will be an independent candidate. Let me also add that. An independent candidacy will not work against an Asiwaju. And I've told those I can speak to amongst them that make up your minds quickly. If you are going to go through primaries, go through primaries. If you are going to go through consensus, go through consensus, so that you can start campaigning. And since Tinubu has already declared the campaign open anyway, even before INEC says yes. So it's free for all. Nobody should be afraid or ashamed of declaring its interest. That's why an article would declare its interest this early. Normally, you wait, pick up your form and all that. But under Tinubu, everything is already upside down politically. So let them make up their minds where they want to go, Rufai, and all of them. So to say that Peter Obi will go to PDP, he's not a fool. I can bet my life on that Peter Obi will not go to PDP so that they can rubbish him and humiliate him. That's what will happen to him. So you are telling me, so Wike will not suddenly support Peter Obi because they have zoomed to the south. How? In fact, I have never seen such ridiculous permutations. Peter Obi will go to PDP. A party that somebody just called it carcass on your program before me. The APC guy called it carcass, says the carcass. Anybody who knows politics knows that they are just gasping for breath. They are in ICU. They are gasping for breath because they have some formidable people, especially Wike. I love my heart to him this morning. On that one, he got it. Tinubu, in fact, should give him the whole of Abuja and, if possible, extend it to Niger State. He deserves it. He's done a good job for him in PDP.
All right. Anyway, as we look to wrap up, my final question to you, Chief, will be the governors. Recently, we've seen governors celebrate the president and continue to push for a second term, even before the president says so. Why do you think governors are jumping on this train? And why do you think that many governors are also switching lanes, leaving their political party and forming close affiliations with the APC even before 2027?
I'm sorry, with all due respect to the governors, we are a nation of docile people. And we're a nation of very greedy, very selfish. How can somebody that God gave power now reduce himself to a cockroach before a fellow man because of power? And I see some of them are even pastors, some of them are, for me, and I just shake my head for Nigeria. I'm happy that I'm already 65, so I've entered the retirement age. Whatever God can give me for the rest of my life, I'm grateful. But to see governors grovel in front of fellow man because of power, you want second term. Jimmy Carter, I went to his museum the other day in Atlanta. He had only one term as President of America. He lived to be 100 years. That's what they call the value and the power of contentment. It's not compulsory that you should do 2 terms. It's not compulsory. He got what Awolowo could not get, what Abiola could not get. The Owele of Onitsha was chasing it till he died. Asiwaju got it. 4th attempt. So why do you now want to block others? If they defeat you, go home. If you defeat them, so be it. But to be using these underhand tactics, using security agencies, using INEC, using this, using that, it's unfortunate. But when tomorrow comes, we shall all meet again. And I will tell you, when it is all over, whenever it is over, whether it's 2027 or 2031, it makes no difference to me, but I will tell you that, sir, you didn't do right for democracy in Nigeria. My concern is not about the economy. You can see me, I'm not criticizing over the economy or anything. It's about this democracy that we all suffered for. People will call me, oh, it's our man, we should just manage it. Manage what?
All right.
So why were we criticizing others? Why was he criticizing Obasanjo?
Okay, let's look at the final question as we're out of time. Seeing as my colleague has, brought up governors, the final question would be to get your thoughts on what's happening in Osun State with regards the withholding of the local government funds and how Governor Adeleke has handled it. What could he have maybe done differently?
Well, I think the case is in court. They have cases in court, so the courts will decide. I don't have any say about that. These people love him to bits, and he's doing his best, under very difficult circumstances. You can see that they almost pushed him into APC. They are still pushing him. I don't know, but it's up to him to decide which way to go. But I think I salute his efforts, his work. I go to Osun every now and then. My sister and my brother, they live in Osun State. My mother came from Gbongan in Osun State. So I hope he will be able to fight. Because the same thing that Tinubu fought for in Lagos, Tinubu fought for everything in Lagos, and we all supported him, even when they were using government instruments to attack him. We all supported him. And that is why we will support opposition this time around. No matter the attack against opposition, we continue to say our own. And those who have kept quiet suddenly because we have our friend, our brother, our comrade in power, so be it. There is history. Tomorrow will come, and when tomorrow comes, let history judge all of us.
All right. Chief Momodu, thank you for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central. We wish you all the best, and we hope to have you again as stories unfold. Of course, there will be new developments in Nigeria's political space every morning. It's new every morning. Thank you for your time.
I agree. Thank you so much. Thank you.